What is going on, snipers? Naeem Al-Obeidi here. I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful day today. Let's go ahead and just dive right into our daily cryptocurrency analytics for today. Everyone's asking the question, is Bitcoin going up or down? We're going to be addressing that question today using very simple technical analysis that might even teach some of you guys that are just now getting into TA. As you can see here with Bitcoin's chart, there is an inverse head and shoulder pattern forming here, going from 9,300 to right around 9,000 US dollars, with the head finding its support right around 6,034 US dollars. If you guys don't know what a head and shoulders is, we have a free resource that's open and available to all of you guys. I highly encourage you guys to get on our Discord. The link is in the description below. I was actually on the Bitcoin tab here looking at other people's charts here. It's really cool. You get real-time data here. It's pretty fun. And if you go to Trading 101 up here, you can actually pull up the head and shoulders. You can see this is a head and shoulder top with the inverse right under that. And the difference between the two is the neckline in the inverse head and shoulder forms above the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. And what we're really looking for is this breakout trend reversal where the price movements actually head above the neckline, which we have not seen just yet for Bitcoin. So we're going to be using a little bit more technical analysis, including the Fibonacci retracement, to kind of look at where Bitcoin's price may be headed over the next couple of days. So let's go ahead and just dive right into it. So looking at this chart, this is another free resource. The link is in the description below. It's TradingView. We're going to right click insert indicator. If you guys want yours to look like mine, I'm going to be using the volume, the 3 moving averages, the relative strength index, or the RSI today. And that's pretty much it. We're not going to use the MACD or Bollinger Bands or anything of that nature. I want to keep this very simple for you guys. And this is going to show you guys how to indicate where reversals could possibly occur. So as you can see here, let's pull up the Fibonacci retracement first and foremost. I think this might actually help a lot of you guys. The Fibonacci retracement is on this left toolbar right on the 3rd line. If you right click it, Fibonacci retracement, go from the highest point that you see on the graph that you're watching. As you can see, we're using the 4-hour right now, and then go to the lowest point to get an accurate Fibonacci count. And you can see here there are different levels within Fibonacci. To keep things simple for you guys, just understand Fibonacci is a good way to look at support and potential resistance. So you can see here how we bounced off of this 23% Fibonacci level here, went back up into the 38%, found resistance, bounced back into this yellow, and I'm just going to use the color indicators to talk about this. So you can see in this yellow channel, we found clear support, and then we found a little bit of pushback here, dropped below down into this red channel, and then that's really where we saw price movements kind of just fall out, where we had most of those weak hands kind of come out. And then now you can see we formed that inverse head and shoulder, but prices, that neckline is right on that Fibonacci retracement to get to that next channel. So I think the biggest thing right now for Bitcoin is pretty simple here. You know, we can draw Elliott waves out and we can do different counts here, but I think the most important thing to pay attention to right now is this Fibonacci retracement level as well as the neckline and where it's forming. If we can break past this neckline, then I can most definitely see upward price momentum for Bitcoin, being the fact that we had this ABC correction here, and now that could count another 5-point count up, and that could be an impulse wave that could potentially break out of this neckline into the next Fibonacci zone here in yellow, potentially in green, and then that's where we can see some further price action heading up, and that's going to actually translate overall in the market. So if we pull up the 1-day here, you guys can see very similar chart here where the Fibonacci retracement levels are acting as either support or resistance. So I think that's really the biggest thing to watch for right now. So when you guys are on your charts, if we pull up the 4-hour, the price level, in my opinion, that we really want to watch out for here is around 93, 9,400. If we can push past that, I think things can look very positive for Bitcoin. Now, here's what I'll tell you. I'm definitely taking profits right now, more than I've ever taken profits before, being the fact that the biggest lesson I learned as a trader, being in the traditional markets for so long, I obviously knew that you have to have entry and exit points. You have to have profit targets set in place. But one thing that people don't realize in the cryptocurrency market is things are so much faster. I actually like to look at things in the crypto market as 1 to 3 times faster than traditional markets. So any way that you typically, for Forex and traditional market traders, that you typically play those markets, you have to speed everything up in this type of market. So you have to take profits earlier. You have to set up earlier stop losses. You have to be more more proactive, not being reactive, but being proactive, preparing your trades. And there's a lot more that goes into it. And I think it's just because this is an emerging market and we're seeing such fluctuative, volatile price movements compared to other markets like the NASDAQ, which isn't doing so bright as well. Being that we've been on a 9-year bull run, I mean, what could you expect, right? Ray Dalio says this in his book, every 7 to 10 years, there's typically a correction. So looking at cryptocurrency in terms of total market cap here, you can see if we pull up BTC volume here, Stellar is absolutely killing it in terms of BTC Satoshi valuations. If we're looking at the USD charts, you can see most coins right now are either stabilized or a little bit in the red. Other than Stellar, of course. If you guys are getting our trade alerts, you know we called out Stellar, and we have that already in there. If we pull up our next chart here in Bitcoin, you can see this is the 1-year chart in terms of price levels. You can see where we're starting to find a little bit more of that sideways price action, which we haven't necessarily seen much of during this correction. We did see some sideways price action around this point and this point. However, it never formed an inverse head and shoulder. You can see here we dropped right down, forming a head, never forming a left shoulder here, and then seeing that horizontal price movement story before we saw further decline. But then this time we did form that head and shoulder, that inverse head and shoulder. So that's going to be at least one indicator of a possible bottom that was found. Typically, when you're looking at corrections, you're looking for that double bottom, but in this case, inverse head and shoulders can certainly act as the bottom as long as we can see price levels push past that neckline, which is what we're waiting for. So looking at total market capitalization in terms of dominance, one thing I want you guys to notate, if you pull this up on CoinMarketCap, you can see how the others tab, which is actually all the way in the last portion of this little text box that pops up, it says 7.23% right now. I don't know if you see that where it says others, but that's pretty much all the altcoins in the market outside of the top coins. And you can see how it goes from 7%. This is another 1-year chart. Now heading towards over 20% and maintaining those levels. What that shows me is more money is being brought in across the market, being spread across the market, but that doesn't mean Bitcoin's price levels are not going to increase. People might think that money's going to other coins, but I think the overall market's going to see rejuvenation of more money coming into the market as institutional traders, as more retail investors come into the market, because there aren't that many. If you really think about it, guys, we are a very small portion of the community that's actually in this market, participating in the cryptocurrency marketplace and trading. And you guys know that if you guys are part of our Discord, you guys see that all the time. One other thing I do want to address, guys, if you guys are getting our trade alerts, as you guys know, if you guys are on our Patreon website, for you guys to read these trade alerts, there are specific things that I want you guys to look for when actually opening up these trade alerts. So I'll go ahead and pull up a percentage right now, but there's pretty much a buy zone, a sell zone, and a stop loss zone. Or I'm sorry, a buy zone, a stop loss zone, and a take profit zone. And I want you guys to be aware of how to utilize this, because there are going to be times where we post trade alerts, but it doesn't mean you want to buy it just yet. So I'll give you an example right now. We posted this XRP trade alert here, and as you can see, we've had some pretty good results with our trade alerts. This was another one that we posted, and if we pull this one up, you can see if XRP does not head towards this buy zone, it doesn't mean that you should actually put in a trade here. It just means that it did not finish the pattern. We didn't get confirmation, is what we traders call it. Confirmation that the trend is actually what we believe is going to happen. So in this case, once we saw this uptrend in RSI, I assumed that if we were going to hit this zone, that it was going to start to see further upside. But because we didn't go in there, you shouldn't have purchased into this actual coin until it actually went into the buy zone. So only buy in the buy zone. And then for take profit, I mean, you can really take profit anywhere here, but this is more of a calculated profit zone that is potentially where things will head to. Like, I'll give you another example here. If you pull up our trading view chart, you can see one of our past price alerts and how that actually played down with Lisk. And this was just one example of our trade alert actually playing out exactly how it was supposed to, which we've had much success with other trades. Like Quantum just actually broke out. And then XLM just broke out Stellar today. So we can actually pull up Lisk right here. If you pull up the Lisk, this was actually the trading alert we posted. You can see as soon as we posted that, if we actually pull this back, this is the actual alert that we posted. And I want you guys to just kind of get an understanding of how to utilize these trade alerts to the best of your advantage here. So if we pull up, this is the trading view account here. This was actually one of the trading alerts that we drew out for Lisk. And you can see how we were in that buy zone. And since we posted it in the buy zone, it was okay to buy right there. And you can see how it eventually jumped up, and now it's in that take profit zone where it's found that resistance right there, because this was a calculated zone. That's why we found support and resistance within this take profit zone. But you can see prices even went further. So if you held on to that trade, you would have been fine. Just to give you another quick example of some of the other trades that have just broken out. XLM, I think, took a little bit of time, but you can see it wasn't in the buy zone when we posted this trade alert, so it didn't mean that you wanted to buy just yet. But once it entered the buy zone, you can see how as soon as we went into that buy zone, bam, it shot up to that take profit zone. But this one just wasn't as beautiful, I guess you can say. If we pull up the quantum, I know this one was very, very well played here. You can see once we posted this one, shot right into that take profit once again, found a little bit of support. So hopefully you guys are using these trading alerts properly. But other than that, guys, thank you so much. Sorry for the lack of content. We're working on the back end right now in terms of the website, putting resources together, because I want you guys to have an all-in-one area. You guys can actually have all of these charts here, as well as a lot more resources we want to add. So just keep trucking along. There's going to be a lot more updates, a lot more cool things coming for you guys. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. And like always, snipers out.